Well, September is around the corner and it's about to become the best month Stadia has ever seen in regards to hot AAA titles and titles just to look forward to in general. One can even argue it might be Stadia's best month of the entire year. With that said, we're going to take a close look at all the games coming this upcoming September. We will sort through them through dates. Also, stick around towards the end for my predictions on which games we might see that don't have official announcements yet. And I did hit on a couple last month, so I'm bound to be right on one of these. With that said, I make these videos every month, so if you're wondering what titles will come in the future for Stadia, be sure to be subscribed to this channel for both the videos and live streams that I do. Smash that like button too if you can, so that way new hopefuls for Stadians can see these videos. But let's go ahead and start this video with a rundown of all the games we're getting on September 1st with your Pro membership that are new to the platform, starting with Super Bomberman R. And it's a game that will have you taking out your friends and family. The game also features a story mode, though no word if you can play co-op with it like you can in other versions. Either way, this will be a fun title, especially for those who have enjoyed the classics, and it certainly brings a unique flavor to Stadia with the 64-man online battle royal portion of it. I'm excited to play it when it comes to Stadia and look forward to killing all of you here soon in the near future. I will also be streaming this on the channel, so make sure you're subscribed. Next up, we have Hitman 2016. It's a sequel to the beloved classics, and it's a childhood personal favorite of mine. As a preteen, me going around and silently assassinating people was always some of my fondest gaming childhood memories. Gee, I wonder where my parents were. But 2016 Hitman is a game that even 4 years now, it holds up, and it's an excellent addition to the Pro lineup. I would even argue it's one of the best we've ever gotten, and with Stadia set to release Hitman 2 on the same day and Hitman 3 coming to the platform, this is just the start of a great franchise that we need, and one that if you've never tried before, man, I'm jealous because you're about to embark on a fun assassinating journey. This, out of all the Pro games, is the one that I'm looking forward to the most, and the one that I'm excited to play here very soon. Hello Neighbor is set to hit our living rooms on September 1st, and while I admit I have not had a chance to dive into this one, this is a game that has been a regular in my house, as my preteen brother has probably put a good couple dozen hours into this one. It's about your shady neighbor doing weird things and you trying to uncover all of it while he's trying to stop you. The game is chock full of puzzles and ways that you have to navigate through the house while you uncover the mystery of what's going on, and while the neighbor all the while is trying to stop you this entire time. It has its moments of creepiness and suspense mixed with problem solving, and this is a game that I think won't entice everyone, but I think it's niche enough that there will be potential for some of you to really get into the game and the game's premise, and it does bring a different flavor to Stadia that we just haven't seen. So I do look forward to giving this a shot when it arrives, and we'll see if I enjoy it. I'll be curious to see how many of you as well end up liking this one. Now, Gunsport is headed our way as a Pro game, the upstart indie title that is only seeing the light of day due to Stadia helping them finish the game. You can tell they have a unique vision here with the 2v2 volleyball gun game in which you try to score on your opponent's net. Now, they did have a story mode from last I heard, but no word if that is still in the vision of the game or if this looks to just be more of a pure arcade game with the ability to go against other players online on Stadia. Either way, this is a different title, one that we've never seen before, and I'm willing to give it a shot when it does come out September 1st. Either way, I'm excited for the developers to have finally finished their dream, their game, since they started the idea almost a half a decade ago, and glad to see they found a home here on our beloved Stadia. But alright, we finally covered all the new Pro games that are coming to the platform, but now let's go through the amazing list of games that we are getting released, and man oh man, I am beyond excited for this one as I've gotten to play the beta, folks. If you haven't seen or have played Marvel Avengers, you guys are in for a treat. The story here is very intriguing, where the Avengers are blamed for a huge catastrophe that has them on the run. and with big updates planned for many years. There will be new superheroes and narratives, but the starting heroes that you can play at launch here are the Hulk, Black Widow, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, and Kamala, who all of them stand out and have their own abilities. Even through the start of the game, each one of the heroes to me felt very different from the other, and the cool part is you can build each hero to be pretty different from another player's hero, even if you're playing the same Hulk, for example. Honestly, the combat can be pretty brainless, but it's extremely fun. And it is challenging, especially if you raise the difficulty, as I was dying quite a bit. This is a perfect Stadia title, and a good kickoff to the new AAA titles we're getting the rest of the year. At this point, I've played enough to recommend it, and I fully plan for this game to play flawlessly on Stadia when it comes early access on September 1st, or at the very worst September 4th if you buy the base game. Alright, moving on to the next game, we have Hitman 2, and it will be releasing alongside Hitman 1 on September 1st. And while this game is not a pro title, it will continue the series on Stadia until we see Hitman 3 that comes out in January. Now, I will admit to you guys, I'm slightly worried for this title because if you look at the history of the Metro series on Stadia, for example, most of these games hit pro eventually, so I'll always be hesitant for you guys to buy this one in fear of that. With that said, we have yet another excellent addition to the series, and it continues the path forward. The gameplay continues to remain excellent in Hitman 2. You're getting more of the same good stuff. But in Hitman 2, it adds an online co-op mode with the new Sniper Assassin mode, which has one player eliminating targets from long range while the other is in the fray. Now, to me that sounds hella cool, but there is also a competitive part in Ghost mode where you can race to eliminate 5 targets before your opponents. I personally hope to find someone to dive into these multiplayer aspects with, especially the co-op mode, as playing a sniper while a buddy is down in the fray is gameplay I know I would love to death. I can't wait to dive into this one as well, especially after I play the first Hitman. NBA 2K21 is headed to Stadia on the 4th of September, and this year looks to make a few changes to the franchise, with supposedly improvements of graphics and gameplay, but you can for the most part expect the same old story with this franchise. Now, I've covered the NBA 2K series more than any other titles the past 3 years. Typically, you can expect a few changes here and there, but the formula typically stays the same. You get great basketball gameplay, it's top notch, but for the competitive online portions, you will need to dole out extra cash to be competitive right away in either the My Team or the My Player aspects of the game, or spend anywhere from 50 to 100 hours to be competitive with those who do spend money depending on your individual skill. This year might see a few more fresh faces with the online portion of the game on Stadia, but with the Stadia's lower player base, the online portions might still struggle to see faces across multiple time zones on different game modes. Overall, when I get my hands on this title on the 4th, we'll go ahead and take a deep look, but I'm not expecting much with this game. And if you're happy with 2K20 gameplay without the online portion, you'll find absolutely no reason to upgrade to this one. Overall, we'll see what 2K brings to the table on the 4th with yet another iteration of 2K on Stadia. Now, another 2K title is gracing the platform with WWE 2K Battlegrounds, and this brings a more arcadey approach to the franchise, featuring a more simpler approach to the wrestling gameplay and more of a wacky time. WWE 2K Battlegrounds will feature a wide variety of matches like a steel cage, Royal Rumble, Fatal 4-Way, and the new Battlegrounds Challenge. The game will also have local and online battles where you can compete for the king of the battleground. But for those who don't want to play with others in this game, it will feature an all-new story mode led alongside the wrestler Steve Austin, who helps lead the charge to find the next WWE superstars. Overall, I did dismiss this title when I first saw it, but as more details have poured out, I am looking forward to this more simpler and arcadey approach to the franchise, and as a wrestling fan myself, I'm hoping to just have a mindless blast with this game. WWE 2K Battlegrounds releases on September 18th on Stadia. The next 2 titles on this list are ones that we thought we would see in August, but they added themselves to the September lineup, Starting with Serious Sam 4, the beloved cult classic is making its way back, only this time it's featuring a full Legion system that will have hordes upon hordes of enemies coming at you at once and in the thousands. You can expect the same mindless but fun gameplay from this title. The awesome thing to note here is that the game's expected price is to be $39.99 on Stadia, so you shouldn't be paying a full-blown price for this title. It will also feature 4-player co-op, so I'm excited to dive into this game with you guys here in the coming weeks, and I can't wait to blast down tens of thousands of enemies headed our way on September 24th. Now, the ever-elusive Baldur's Gate 3 has a release date right at the end of September 30th, and it's a title that I have looked forward to what feels like an eternity now. Baldur's Gate 3 will be featuring an expansive story, with so many branching story arcs that your playthrough won't be the same as someone else's. This old school RPG D&D will have you adventuring, looting, battling, and romancing on a journey through the Forgotten Realms and beyond. The beauty here is you can play this game completely solo or play with friends in up to 4-player co-op. The combat though is where this game is gonna shine. It's a turn and team based system, bringing that D&D rule set where the roll modifiers will either have you blowing past your enemies or in a fight to stay alive, depending on the roll of the dice. Now the game is in early access, so in a way we need to temper our hype and expectations, as they will be only releasing a portion of the game, and the fact is that there will possibly be a lot of bugs and problems. Either way, I cannot wait to play this game, experience crowd choice via streaming on YouTube with you guys. I'm personally excited for that, but keep in mind this game still might be delayed one more time, so I want you guys to remember that. Even though a release date has been given, we'll see if this finally does come to our living rooms on September 30th. Alright, and the last title on this list is one that is confirmed for September. It's Dead by Daylight, and this is a title that I think a lot of you are not talking about, but I've played this game extensively. I have reviewed it, and it's one of those titles on the surface that might not seem like something you might enjoy, but it really took me by surprise. It does a great job of doing what it does. That is the online teamwork, the online suspense of playing as the killer or the survivor. It's a 4 versus 1, where the killer is trying to take out the survivors and the survivors have to escape to win. The game's mechanics have been refined and fine-tuned for a while now. This is a game that is extremely popular in the streaming world and is one of the most watched games around. It also sits at 260,000 positive user reviews, so this is a whopper of a game. As you play more of the survivor or the killer, you will gain more abilities, more perks that will help you either survive or kill that much better. So there is a reward system and an incentive to continue to grind your specific killer or survivor, keeping in mind every single character in this game is different. It's a game that I never thought that I'd enjoy, and I ended up putting in dozens upon dozens of hours into it. I look forward to this title quite a bit on Stadia, especially since it will have, this is key, it will have cross-play, crowd play, and crowd choice. But the important part is it will have cross-play, so you will always be able to find games. This is actually one of my more anticipated titles this September, and now when it does launch, I'm going to be really excited and I can't wait to see the reception from you guys. Alright, let's finally touch on real fast predictions for games this September that I think will be coming. Keep in mind I have no inside information, these are just my pure guesses, though last month I did hit on 2 game predictions. Let's see if I get lucky here again. We're going to start this off with Jedi Fallen Order. I feel this one will hit us this September, but if it doesn't come, I feel there is almost no doubt we'll see it in October at the very latest. Now last month I guessed Mafia Trilogy for August. That didn't happen. We're gonna go ahead and extend that to September. I'm bound to be right here at some point, right? I think we can also see Destroy All Humans and possibly Monster Jam Steel Titans. I want to predict Outcasters, but I feel that one might not hit until October either way. Last game that I want to mention here is Madden. It's being teased it could come day and date, so I could be completely wrong today. But if it doesn't, I think at the very minimum we could see it at September. but I could be wrong on this one. With that said, let me know your predictions for games not on this list that I didn't mention, which games you hope come as a surprise drop, and let me know which games on this list you're actually looking forward to the most, as I'd be curious to hear what you guys have to say. Like always guys, subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more Stadia videos like this. I do these every month. Please hit that like button so we can find more Stadians. And like always, I'm Sunny, and I'll see you guys in the cloud.